Okay, so to solve the inequality, the first thing you're going to do here is, if you look here, you have a 2 right there. So that 2 you need to get rid of first. So what I'm going to do is I am going to subtract that from both sides, because what I do on one side, I have to do on the other. So I'm going to be left with 1/2 of x, and then that symbol stays there because the 2's cancel out, and I have 1/6 minus 2. But in order to subtract the 2 from the 1/6, I'm going to have to convert that 2 to something that I can subtract, from the 1/6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert that 2, because 2 equals 12 over 6. Because 12 divided by 6 is equal to 2. So now I have a 6 in the denominator, which means that I can subtract 1 over 6 minus 12 over 6, because I have a common denominator. So now I have 1/2 of x is less than or equal to 1/6 minus 12 over 6. And so I'm left with 1/2 x is less than or equal to negative 11 over 6. Now, in order to get rid of that half, we have to multiply by the reciprocal. And the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2 over 1, or 2. So you're going to multiply both sides by 2 over 1. And what happens there is the 2 and the 1's cancel out. So you have x is less than or equal to, and then the 2 and the 6, this cancels out and that becomes a 3. And the 2 cancels out and that becomes a 1. Because that's the same thing as 2 over 6. And that becomes 1/3. And that's exactly what I just showed right here. But that's being multiplied by a negative 11. So I have negative 11 over 3. Now if I use a calculator, a negative 11 over 3 is going to be approximately 3 2/3, which is 3 and 0.66. So, and that's to the negative. So that's to the left of 0. So 0 is right here on the number line. So that's negative 3, so 1, 2, 3. And 0.66, it's a little over half. So if you look, half is about there. So I'm going to go a little bit beyond there. And that's where I'm going to make my, my circle. Excuse me. Now, if you look at the symbol, it is included. So I'm going to make a dot there, but my dot is going to be included, which means that my point here, oops, I should use a color, is going to be included. Now, if it was not included, so if my dot had been, if I had a less than, so if I had a less than or a greater than, without the equal, then it's not included. Therefore, my circle would have been an open circle, because that means that it's not included. And then you have to look at that symbol again. If x is less than those numbers, the numbers that are smaller are to the left of that. So it's going to be like negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, because those are to the left of that number right there, not to the right, because to the right the numbers get bigger. There, you need the numbers that are smaller. So you're going to graph to this side. So that's what this arrow means over here. And that is what that is. Now, on your book and on your, and the math, the open dots and closed dots are also represented. The closed dots are brackets. So you may have to use something like that. And then the open dots are parentheses. So if you use a parentheses, that means that it's not included. If you use a bracket, it means that it is included. But they mean pretty much the same thing. Please let me know if this doesn't make sense or if there's a step here that you're not sure of.